Here you'll see a one-way sign from the highway that was meant to go for 10th Street, and it is just knocked down, uprooted. The Dunn County Sheriff's Office did confirm with us that they began a foot search in the woods to the right of me in hopes of finding any evidence left behind. Here you guys are, a month and a half after the death of George Floyd. Why do you guys think it's important to keep the momentum going? It was closed because of a deadly multi-vehicle crash. Now, details are scarce, but here's what we know so far. It's filled with so many things like purple flowers, balloons, stuffed animals. This pineapple smoothie, this is a hefty big boy right here. My hand hurts from just holding it. As you might be able to see, I'm standing on some bottles. They taught me how to do this earlier. It was a little bit tricky to stand on these bottles without falling over, but they're great teachers.
We have more from Katrina on what the former student is doing to help marginalized students have a voice today.
Being outed is kind of the act of disclosing someone's sexual orientation or gender identity and expression before that person is ready.
Hazel Baleen was a senior at Chippewa Falls High School in 2018. What was supposed to be a year of good memories turned into a nightmare.
I hadn't planned to come out, but in March of 2018, I was outed by the parents of another student in the school cafeteria. And that was in front of hundreds of other students.
Hazel says her secret spread like wildfire, and soon she was being harassed.
The parents would threaten my parents. They called and told them on multiple occasions that they had staff members inside of the school watching me. So that was pretty terrifying.
And she says the harassment extended beyond school.
I was confronted multiple times by the pastor, the youth pastor of the church, who also wanted to try and put me on the right path. He gave my friend a book about how to help me get back on the right path, meaning how to be straight, basically.
Hazel believes school administrators barely helped and even perpetuated the problem.
I was called out of school by the school resource officer as well, and the principal. I was called out of class by the school counselor and told that if I didn't repent my sins of being gay, I would go to hell. At one point, I was having panic attacks pretty much on a daily basis. I probably only attended 2 to 3 days of school each week by the end of my senior year.
Dan Bennett Hardy with the Chippewa Valley LGBTQ Center in Eau Claire says Hazel is not the only one who has experienced bullying or harassment for her sexuality.
Even though I wasn't even out, people bullied me because of my perceived sexuality.
Bennett Hardy emphasized that being outed, or out in general, can be dangerous.
It really kind of runs a gamut from being teased to bullied to being kicked out of the house to self-harm.
According to the 2019 Wisconsin Youth Risk Behavior Survey, 42% of students who are LGBT have seriously considered suicide, but only 19% of LGBT students say they received the help they needed when in emotional distress.
I wanted administration to take my concerns seriously and to protect their students. I was told that it was my job to stay away from this family that had been harassing me, that it was my job to stay away from this pastor. They did nothing to keep these harmful people off the school property.
Bennett Hardy says in order to help reduce bullying or harassment towards the LGBTQ community, we need to be more openly supportive.
Allies, straight, heterosexual, cisgender allies need to make it commonplace to say, I support everyone regardless of sexual identity and gender expression.
Because of her experience in high school, Hazel started a social media-based social justice organization called Cultivative Coalition with 3 other Chi-High graduates.
We started Cultivative Coalition to give a space for marginalized individuals who are still in the school.
The organization hopes to increase mental health training in the district and have more counselors and social workers educated in diversity and inclusion.
LGBTQ liberation can't happen without Black liberation, can't happen without Asian liberation, can't happen without Native liberation. All of these marginalized communities, disabled community, religious minorities, we all need to be building each other up and helping each other.
At 11:30 on the Monday morning after Christmas, driver Chris Hanna with Box Sanitation has already made 350 stops.
Right after the holidays, it's always busy, 100%.
And he still has says
262 left. We always try to prepare for it, but we never are prepared for it. It's always a bunch of cardboard, a lot of wrapping paper.
Hannah says all the extra cardboard after the holiday makes his job a little harder.
It's been an endless stream of cardboard this year. Trying to fit it in these buckets without it falling out, and it's just a lot of it. It doesn't stop.
Drivers say their workday could easily be 12 to 13 hours long, and the amount of trash they pick up can double.
Usually around 35, 40 pounds, and they're pushing about 60 to 70 pounds, per can. It also depends on can size and everything as well.
With that much extra garbage, everyone pitches in, including operations manager Wayne McCurvin himself.
A lot of our management crew is actually out there picking up stops just to help out.
One way you can help is to break down your cardboard and keep it smaller than 3 feet so it can easily fit in their hauling bin.
Also, if you put it out in variations of each week, you put out a little bit, instead of putting it all out into 1 week, it's definitely a lot easier to take that stuff.
But the biggest thing they ask of you is to have patience.
We're all out there just, trying to get the job done. Some people my driver's an hour or two late. Yep, we're going to be, but we will get you picked up and, we'll get you taken care of.